Welcome to Keys Open Doors. Today we're breaking down down payment assistance grants. I'm so thrilled you're joining me for this explainer, because today we're tackling one of the absolute most powerful tools in the real estate world. As an educator and advisor, I speak to aspiring homebuyers every single day, and I know exactly what keeps you up at night. So we're going to take this complex financial topic and translate it into plain, practical English. By the end of our time together, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how these grants work and how they might literally be the key to unlocking your new front door.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the down payment hurdle, demystify what a true grant actually is, look at eligibility and financial limits, and wrap up with your next steps. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, the down payment hurdle. We really have to start here because before we can talk about the solution, we've got to acknowledge the reality of the problem.
So, is the down payment stopping you? If you're nodding your head right now, I want you to know you're definitely not alone. For so many everyday folks, making that down payment is the single biggest roadblock to buying a first home. You might be able to afford the monthly mortgage payment perfectly fine, right? But gathering that massive lump sum of cash up front, that's what keeps people trapped on the sidelines.
And that is exactly why we're here today. The whole purpose of a down payment assistance grant is to dramatically cut down the years it takes you to save up. Instead of saving for years and years while home prices just keep changing, a grant can bridge that gap. It's really a tool designed to hit the fast-forward button, moving your timeline from someday to moving day. Moving right along to Section 2, what is a true grant? Let's take the jargon out of this and get down to the facts about the money. When you start looking at down payment assistance, you're going to see a lot of different terms thrown around. But the key word here is never. The specific program we're looking at today is a true grant. What does that actually mean for you? It means these are funds that you never need to repay, ever. Comparing these two side by side makes it pretty obvious, but getting this straight is absolutely crucial for your peace of mind. A standard loan, well, that's borrowed money. It creates a debt you eventually have to pay back, usually with interest. A true grant is totally different. It's not some hidden second mortgage. It's not a surprise bill that's going to pop up when you sell the house later. It's financial assistance granted to you with zero repayment required. Now, here is a real game changer. This money is highly flexible. In a lot of cases, you can actually pair these true grants with other non-agency down payment assistance you might find. That means you have the potential to stack your resources. You don't necessarily have to pick just one form of help. Depending on the rules, you can combine a grant with local community assistance to really maximize your buying power. Okay, let's head into Section 3. Who qualifies for assistance? This is where we look at the general rules of the road.
While these grants are amazing, they aren't just handed out to absolutely everyone. There are specific boxes you got to check. To get a grant from a state or local housing agency, you generally need to meet a few core requirements. Typically, you need to be a qualified first-time homebuyer. You've also got to pair the grant with specific types of loans, and you have to fall within certain income limits.
But wait, what if you've actually owned a home before? Don't tune out just yet. There's a really important exception for repeat buyers. If you're buying a house in what's called an area of economic opportunity, you might actually still qualify. These are specific geographic zones where agencies really want to encourage homeownership, so they just waive that first-time buyer requirement altogether.
Now, regarding the loan itself, you should know that you can't just walk into any bank, pick a random mortgage product, and ask for this grant. The down payment assistance grant usually has to be used with eligible, specific bond, FHA, or conventional loans provided right through the housing agency. The grant and the loan, they're a package deal.
And that brings us perfectly to Section 4, understanding the financial limits.
Remember, these programs are built for everyday, working people, which means there are boundaries in place to make sure the money goes to those who actually need it. First off, your household income has to fall within the agency's specific limits. Notice I said household income. That generally means they're going to look at the total income of the entire household, not just the single person applying for the loan. These limits keep the focus on moderate and lower income families.
Second, there are limits on the property itself. Both the home's sales price and the total loan size are capped. So no, you can't use a down payment assistance grant to go buy a multi-million-dollar luxury mansion. These limits vary depending on your specific area, but they're all about promoting affordable, sensible homeownership. You've got to stay within those boundaries to get the grant.
All right, we've covered the hurdles, the definition of a true grant, the eligibility, and the financial limits. Let's move to Section 5, taking your next step, your action plan. So how do you actually put this into practice? Here's your simple 3-step action plan. Step 1, check the specific income and sales price limits for your local area. Step 2,
Find an approved lender who's actually certified to work with these housing agency programs. And step 3, apply for the eligible loan and the grant together through that lender. Now, I want to be super clear here. Everything we've talked about today is general educational information. Every single person's financial situation, credit history, and local market is totally unique. Since you can't apply for these grants directly on your own, your absolute best next step is to talk with an approved, licensed lender. A professional can look at your specific numbers and guide you safely through the whole shebang.
So, what do you think? Is the down payment still holding you back? Well, it doesn't have to anymore. The money is out there waiting to be claimed. The only question is, are you going to take that first step and go get it? Start looking into approved lenders in your area today. Keys open doors, helping you unlock your path to homeownership. If this helped, like, comment, and subscribe.